I have so much to talk about today, but let's start with a non-traditional approach to buying a house. So typically, we're looking for what houses are on the market and available for you. But let's go a step further. Let's get your list, exactly what you're looking for, exactly the price point, and let's see if that house exists or has ever existed. That'll help us with your search criteria and how do we make buying a house as easy and pleasurable as possible. So first of all, when we as realtors set up your MLS sheets, this is the criteria, pages and pages of check marks. And they're just little boxes we check off, but it gives us specific information. What's the floor plan? What type of flooring do you have? What type of appliances are included? So those are some of the general things that we're checking off, and then it goes much more specific. So as a buyer, the worst part of searching for a home is not finding exactly what you want. Well, with interest rates at 2.25%, 2.5%, 2%, depending on the terms, you're not going to buy exactly what you want, but you want to buy as much of it as possible. And depending on your price range, it may be the top 5 factors that you're looking for. Might be the top 3 factors, might be the top 10. We don't know until we start your search profile. So we can get your search specifics as tight as possible for you, or in my opinion, I'd loosen up. I would find out exactly what my needs are versus all of my wants. So on my needs, you probably have a specific bedroom amount, but you'll take more, but we want to put in what your exact amount, your need is. That could be bathrooms too, if you're trying to add additional bathrooms to your house. But if you're saying, I could live with 2.5, but let's put 5 in there. Putting 5 in there could hurt how many houses come up in your search criteria. Specific schools or school districts. Maybe you have children in school already, or maybe you have some special needs that that school district offers. That's when that becomes a true need. If you're open to schools, then let's look at houses without any guidelines for specific schools. Here's the big one, price. Now, if you have a goal price in mind, that's one thing, but we want to know what your pre-approval price is in the range. So you can afford from $200 to $250. That gives us some ideas to be able to make sure that we can get as many of these wants and needs for you as possible. Next thing, required garage space. You may need that extra space. Maybe you have a work vehicle and you know it has to be kept in the garage, so on and so forth. So this may be a need, this may be a want. So the garage could be a want also. So as you're moving up in houses, maybe this is your second or third or fourth house, in that case, your wants and needs might be more bigger because you're not wanting to give up too much of what you have to where you're going. Sometimes age will create what is acceptable in your wants and needs too. So let's talk about wants. Wants are things that we love about houses, but in many cases, those are things that can be added. We're going to look at some of the general wants that I hear on a regular basis, and that's a fireplace. So sometimes people just want the look of a fireplace, but you could buy a house and add an electric fireplace or add just a fireplace mantle to give you that coziness. So figure out what the need is on the fireplace. Fenced yard. This is a big one, and so many of us have pets, so it becomes a real need in our opinion. But in most cases, you don't want to miss a house that doesn't have a fence by doing the requirements of only choosing to have a fence. Fences are easy to put up. They're really cost effective. And when you add a fence to your house, it does enhance the values. Wood floors and types of floors. This is one of the easiest things. Floors and countertops, easiest thing in real estate to change. And then you get what you want. So unless this is an absolute must-have, can't move into a house due to allergies or something like that, this might be one of those things that you leave off of your criteria search. Near a park, near a grocery store, near some type of specific, Again, be flexible with that if you're having a hard time searching for specific houses that fit your needs. And then specifics. So I want to be within so far from this. Specifics, I want this amount of square foot or this size yard. So let's use this as a great example. You want a house on a ½ acre or more, but there's a perfect house out there that's on 0.45 acres, so not quite a half, but you miss it because of the specifics. This is conversation that we want to have with you so that we're making it as pleasurable for your home search as possible. All right, now let's talk about some past information. I told you we'd keep you up to date on our bathroom project. And just like many of you who have already reached out and asked, it's not going at all like we expected. So we start our video there last week and then the work begins. And we find that as much as I said about making sure that you had somebody very experienced do the work, we did not have the proper lining for our shower tub on the flooring. Actually, the tile was not even installed correctly. So instead of having the mortar base on the tile, it was all put up on the wall and then the tile was affixed. Now, as some of the people have reached out to me, they do see that in new construction now and then, but it really doesn't create the water barrier that's right for long-term real use showers. So we're a week into the project now. We have carpenters at our house now rebuilding subfloors, 2x4s, all the way out to our exterior wall in a spot. So not a real big project, looks worse than it really is, and we'll share some pictures with you. So hopefully next week when we report into you, I can give you some better info. I will tell you one of the things that we talked about in that video was making sure you had the right people for the job. I did receive the phone call from the contractor who was doing the work that said this is out of our scope. They took it all down, did a great job with the demo, and then said you need to bring in a contractor to rebuild the issues that we found. So again, that's part of your whole interview process with contractors, making sure they know what their best ability is and being upfront and honest with you for the fix. If you have any questions about wants, needs, current home searches, helping you through the process, or again, any bathroom questions, feel free to give us a call direct. Thanks.